Hello. So I just like take this opportunity to let you know that regardless of all the horrible, terrible things going on in your life, regardless of all the mistakes that you've made, I just want you to know that nobody else is really paying attention to what's going on in your life. They're too worried about themselves to be worried about you. So if you're like sitting there thinking, "Oh, I'm such an embarrassment," not really. Everybody's too worried about being embarrassing themselves to know that you're an embarrassment. So everybody else is pretty much messed up too. So you got that going for you. So alright, so have a super awesome day with all your failures and stuff. It's not a big deal. Okay. Bye.
Good morning, everybody. Um, I wasn't planning on going live this morning, but I was sitting here going through comments on the YouTubes and just doing some chores around the house, and I thought, you know what, I want to say hello to everybody, so I thought I'd just get on here and say hello. Say hello. Life is good. Well, of course, life is good for me. I'm hanging out at my house in Connecticut. I live in Connecticut, and I have not been here at my house for any real length of period of time in many years because I've been traveling all the time. And I finally had a month where I'd set it aside for another project, and that didn't happen. And so instead of booking stuff, well, I booked a couple things locally, but now I'm just staying home. I'm enjoying myself, just being home. This has been nice. Hanging out with my dogs, Doug and Allie, and we're having a good time. Baked cupcakes and vegetables. Nice. But anyway, I hope you're all finding fun things to do. I think that's the key to life is we all sit around doing oh, well, we sit around doing nothing for the most part. We're staring at our phones. I'm guilty of that. I stare at my phone all the time. Just reading comments, and I tell myself, "Well, this is important." It's not. I don't know what I'm doing. It's silly, but I'm starting to get out doing some yard work. You have any idea how much joy you can find? I always thought it was weird that people that would be working in the yard and the garden. I thought, these are weird people. And now I'm doing it, and it's so, you have no idea how much joy and fun you can have growing vegetables and stuff, and taking care of your yard, hanging out, and getting to know all the trees. I got a lot of trees, and I'm getting to know all the trees. You're gonna get one of those apps where you can tell what the tree is, and then of course I'm also fascinated with edible plants. I'm getting into the edible plants because of TikTok. Because there's a bunch of people on TikTok, right, who tell you how to. I don't know why I moved the camera just to show you my books over here. I read a lot, so I have books. But anyway, this, I I don't know. I'm just enjoying trying to learn new crap or new stuff. I wouldn't say crap, but mushrooms. I'm getting into learning like not psychedelic. Just so you know, I don't participate in the drugs, the marijuanas, the psilocybins, all that. I've never cared for it. Partially, well, probably mostly because my grandfather was an alcoholic, and I saw what alcohol did to him. And so when I was very young as a child, I hated the smell of alcohol. I hated the whole all that stuff. And And so I never got into alcohol. Never cared for it, and consequently, other drugs. Never cared for them. Never cared for them. I'm doing other stuff. I'm doing other stuff, and that's my point. I'd like to make today is your life is beautiful. You've got a wonderful life, whether you believe it or not. And there's so many cool things you can do. Even if you're in an apartment, get a look. If you're in an apartment, you can grow stuff in your apartment. You can do planter boxes. Okay, okay, everybody. Okay, everybody. Okay, there's this dog. Everybody, come here, Doug. Let me see. You guys go. Come here, Doug. Up here. This is Doug. He's my pit bull, and he is just a big bowl of love and happiness all the time. And I think right now he wants to go pee. So I'm gonna let him go pee. So if you guys entertain yourselves for a second, I'll be right back. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. There you go. Let me get Allie to come over here. Allie, come here. Come here, Allie. Come here. Okay, this. So you can see her. This is my German Shepherd, Allie. Hello, Allie. Come around. She likes her butt scratched. That's her favorite thing. Come here. Come here. Come here. She's shy. She doesn't really care for cameras. So she's my German Shepherd. Love her dearly. They're both kind of rescues. This one, Allie was a friend, a family friend, and he was in the Marine Corps. And he got relocated to Japan for a year. So anyway, he got moved to Japan, Okinawa, for a year. Let me get that figured out here. And so they needed someone to take the dog, and so we took her, and she has become an integral part of our lives. And then Doug was my sister-in-law's dog in Utah, and he would run away all the time because he loves people. Like, he sees people, he wants to go be with people, and not. I mean, he wants to love everybody. He wants to go and say hi, but because he's a pit bull, it would freak people out. Understandably, a big Doug is just a big, massive ball of muscle, and he comes running at you. You're gonna run away. You're gonna be possibly terrified, even though he's just gonna love on you. But so anyway, but he kept running away, and they had a hard time keeping him. They had younger. Okay, I gotta go let Doug in. Hold on. Okay, you're done. You guys are done. Don't need to. It's okay. Hey. Calm down. But anyway, I wanted to continue on with I was telling my story. Sorry about that. Uh yeah, people just dropped. That's nice. Um yeah, she's very unique. She's very oh, we also have a cat. That just had kittens. We have 5 kittens now. They're just like 3 days old. They're 3 days old, so they're still very tiny. But we're very excited for my cat to have cats, and she's a good mom. She's taking good care of them. Some cats don't. Anyway, she is just very dutiful, doing a great job. Um, Good morning. How old are your dog? Allie is 5, and Doug, I think, is about the same age. So yeah, 5, 6 years old, and they're just I love them dearly. They're so much fun. My wife's out of town for the last couple of days, and so it's been fun having just hanging out with my dogs. I need to go find it. I think there's a dog park near here, and I need to go take my dogs out to the park. It's just putting them on a leash. You got to take them one at a time because together they're just they're one. Doug wants to go say hi to every single person and other dog, and be friends with them. And Allie wants to smell everything and destroy everyone. She's dominant. She's because she thinks she's an alpha male, and she acts like she's an alpha male. She likes to display her dominance to every other animal there is. But so there's that. So I got to keep her away from it. She's not, as long as other dogs are subservient to her, then she's fine. But if they want to be dominant to her, she'll we keep her away from other dogs is what I'm saying. But otherwise she's beautiful. I love her dearly. And she does have she has a unique color. I haven't seen many German shepherds as light as she is. So, and I love her. She's dearly. I love my dogs. I've always loved dogs. In fact, one of my first dogs that we ever had, his name was Amos, and he was part pug and part Chihuahua. He won back in the 70s when I was a kid. We had gotten him from another family, but he had just won a contest in Nevada as Nevada's ugliest dog, and it was just unfortunate because he was beautiful, but he didn't know. You could say he's ugly, but he didn't know that you were saying it. He was a funny dog. But yeah, I do have cats. People are like, are you a dog person, cat person? No, I love both of them. I don't know why you got to be one or the other. I love animals. I'm a big lover of the animals, and enjoy them immensely. Um, I've kind of always had a pet for the most part. When the kids were younger, we had we had this one we had these two dogs that they were rescues. Every dog I get, I don't buy dogs. I'm not into the anyway. We looked in the paperwork in San Angelo, Texas, and we wanted to get dogs, and so we started looking in the paper. We found a family that had a dog, and they said he's mean, and we can't have him anymore. I thought, well, I'm going to go check this dog out because there's really not bad dogs. There's just bad owners. But there are usually, typically. I mean, that's not fully true. There are dogs who are just jerks, but usually it's just a bad owner. So we went to go meet this dog. His name was Roscoe. And when we get there, we'd been looking for pets, for dogs, and we'd gone and seen a lot of different options, if you will. And but when we got there to see Roscoe, first of all, he was barking and he was mad at everybody. I mean, he wanted nothing to do with anyone. He was just going nuts. And he was chained up in between two cars, and it was just really bad situation. First of all, if you have a dog, you have to keep him chained up all the time. It's just cruel. It's cruel, right? And so I get there, and I'm there with the kids, and of course he's just going. He does it. He's growling. I mean, he just wants nothing to do with anybody. But as I'm looking at him, you don't want to necessarily make eye contact with the dog right at first. Um, but so I'm trying to avoid eye contact, but I'm looking at him, but he keeps staring at me, and and I just had I had a good feeling about him, you know, and uh, everybody ever they said that a lot of people had come to get this dog, but he was just he's growling at him and wanted nothing. He wouldn't let anybody get close to him, and so I'm just kind of standing close, and I'm not really staring at him. I'm just kind of getting closer and closer to him without looking at him. And as I got closer, he calmed down, and then I got to where I was within his leash's distance, so he could come to me. He did. So Roscoe comes up to me and just kind of lays down at my feet, and which is if a dog does that I mean they like you, you know. And so he lays down, and uh, the owner, the who I won't go into the owner, but anyway, the owner's freaking out, going, "I've never seen Roscoe act like this," and so I took him. I said, "We'll take him," and so we took Roscoe home, and he was a little apprehensive. You could tell that had some abuse issues. I mean, he was neglected. He was, and I think the person that I got the dog from, he had they had I think they were doing this thing where they would get rescue animals and then try to find him a home, and so they had gotten him from this. So they had to keep him chained up because he was always running off. But from my understanding is that where they got him from, that he was always chained up because he would run away, and dogs will run away because they don't want to be where they're at, because they hate, if you give a dog a good environment and they want to be there, they won't leave. If they feel comfortable and happy and they like being there, they don't run off that much. I mean, you still have dogs that are adventurous and they want to go see stuff. That's no, but they won't leave. They'll come back. They might leave for hours, but they'll come back. But anyway, so we brought Roscoe in, and he was very shy. He was very, but after a little while, once he just got comfortable and knew that we weren't mad at him and that we treated him nice. And pretty soon he became an amazing dog. I mean, he was just so full of love, and he just totally flipped. I mean, he became an amazing dog. And then at the same time, we adopted this other dog who his name was Halo. He was raised with a bunch of kids. So he's very good with kids, but he'd gotten bigger. He was when he was younger, when he was a pup, for the first year or so, he was okay, but he got too big for this family, and he was just real rambunctious, real outgoing, just crazy dog, crazy fun, lovable, but he was a lot of energy. The opposite of Roscoe. But anyway, we get Halo, and we bring him with Roscoe, and they just immediately connected, and they were inseparable. I mean, they were just having a great time all the time. Roscoe really kind of came out of his shell, um, just became playful, even more so than he had made some changes. And we only had Roscoe for about 2 weeks, and then we got Halo, and then those two dogs were and we had them for years. Eventually, Halo got hit by a car and broke his legs. We tried to repair it. There was just not much could be done, so we had to let him go. And yeah. If you getting a pet, I will tell you this: if you're feeling lonely and depressed, I recommend you get a pet, either a cat, dog, something. Um, Having a pet is really very helpful. I enjoy it. One thing, I leave a lot. That's my only problem. And I have a son here who's here. So the dogs aren't left alone. Is what I'm saying. But I have this son who takes care of the dogs, and he loves them just as much as I do. In fact, they're more his. He thinks they're more his dogs than my dogs. But anyway, And rightfully so, probably. But when I leave, I have to leave. I'll be gone for months at a time, and then I'll come back home. And Allie does this crazy thing where she's like happy to see me, but mad at me for leaving in the first place. It's really quite adorable. She'll sit there and she'll just get excited that I'm there, and then she'll just get it's like she's mad at me. It's the coolest thing. I gotta take a. I'm gonna. I'll get a video of it next time it happens. But and she loves the snow. The first time she saw snow, she went absolutely crazy. I've got a video of it. I posted it on Facebook years ago. But the first time she experienced snow, she was just going like crazy. It was amazing. Roscoe ended up. We took him to after Halo. We had to put Halo down. Um, and then Roscoe was by himself. We ended up taking him to Utah. My parents' in-laws have a farm in Utah, and we took him to be a farm dog, and he absolutely loved that. He kind of, you could tell he was depressed after Halo was gone, but so we took him out to Utah and put him on the farm because I was living in Utah more. I was in, well, I don't know if living, but I was just in Utah a lot, and so I had him there to be with me in Utah, and he was on a farm, and he was having a great time. There's horses, there's cattle there. I mean, it was just big place for him to just play and roam and just and there were other dogs there. He got along with them, and he was just fun. He was a very lovable dog, very playful. And I think he got stolen because at the time uh there wasn't a lot of houses in the area. It was just out farm country. But since then, because everybody's moving to Utah from California, and they're building houses all over, so there was all this construction going on, and new houses coming in, and new people coming in all the time. And I think he ended up getting stolen. I think he got taken. I mean, he had a caller, he had information, tags and everything. So there was what you could get if you found him. You could contact us. But no, I think he was stolen. But he disappeared, and kind of bummed, losing him. So yeah, that's the story of my pets. Cats are all rescues. I'm just into just rescues. But do have kittens. If you're in the Stafford Springs, Connecticut area and you're looking for a kitten, look me up. We got kittens. I'll give you one. Um, but anyway, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, I want to say thank you. I got somebody was very kind, and there you are, Majukul One. Thank you. Love you, brother. Discovered you when I needed it. I love my spiritual messages with laughter. Love your amazing work. Keep it up. Thank you, Jukul One, and give me a tip. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you. That's those of you. Okay, so I'm going on. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube, and we're on Twitter. No one ever watches me on Twitter. I don't know any, but I have a Twitter account. In case you guys don't know, I have a Twitter account. I need to do more with the Twitter. I haven't. I've had the Twitter for a long. I've got two Twitter accounts actually, the Rodney Norman Show, and then just Rodney Norman. So if you want to follow me there, I'm on there. I'm also on Instagram. You can find me on just Rodney Norman comedian, and I pop up. I'm on there. I'm on the Instagrams, and they're getting a lot of people are finding me on the Instagram lately. I don't know. I was mostly I don't know how to figure these things out. I'll be honest with you. I do the I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. Uh, I have some days the videos go absolutely crazy bonkers, and then other days nothing. It's kind of weird, but I'm having fun. I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to explain that it's weird. This whole social media thing is still strange, but I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. Like I said, I'm home. I'm enjoying myself at home, and but I am looking for shows. I need to do more shows. I've got shows coming up. Here's I'll tell you this. I've got this one. This is the next show I'm doing Friday, August 5th in Rumford, Maine, at 49 Franklin. You can go to their website and tickets are available there. 49, just look up 49 Franklin. I think it's www.49franklin.com, I think is their site. Then here's the next show. I've also got comedy night at the Egremont Barn, August 18th. That's out in Western Massachusetts. But I want to come where you are, my friends. I want to bring my live comedy show to where you are. I want to come and entertain you. So let me know where you're at, people. Let me know who you are, where you're at, and give us an idea where we can start focusing our efforts for. Oh, you get all this. There you go, right there. Um, all my merch, all my information about where I'm at, where I'm going to be, right there. Go there. Getting better at this. It's right there. Oh, here we go. RodneyNorman.com. Um, but yes, so what I'm looking for are like small theaters or just play. The ideal place seats about 100 people, uh, and I'm looking for those kinds of locations. So if you've got one, if you got a location, you want to do a show, let me know. Just contact us, and you can do it one of two ways. One, you just pay me a flat fee, and or you can we can work out a door deal where we just share the profits from the door. I'm happy to do I just love entertaining. I love doing shows, and I want to do more shows. I need to do more shows. But yeah, if you got a bar, is it Donovan? Yeah, you got a bar or a restaurant with a space. It's got a big backyard, even. Uh, I'll come there and I'll entertain you. I'll bring my show. I'll come and do what I do. Oh, that'd be cool, Donovan. Like, get a hold of me. Send me the best way to get a hold of me. Also, while we're at it, right there, rodnorman.com. There's the reason I say that is because the email messages that go to that, when you click there and send an email message or you send a message, my wife is the one who gets the message, so I know it will actually be read and responded to. Just right there. Go right there. But if you got an idea for shows, and we are trying to get down into Australia. Yes, Australia, Canada. We're coming. We're bringing it. We're going to do it. Um, but yeah, if you have a personal connection, if you own the place or you know somebody, that makes it easier. A lot of theaters, they either have somebody who books them already, and if you're that person, awesome. But if you, yeah, just let me know small theaters and stuff, and or locations, and yeah, I want to start bringing it. Florida, yes, I'm going to be in Florida, Niceville, Florida, on October 29th. I'm going to be part of a music festival. Niceville, Florida, October 29th. And I'll be more information will be available soon. But that's happening. And I'm looking to put more dates in Florida in the month of October. So if you're in Florida and you have a venue or know of a venue, let me know. And love to start putting that together. Um, but anyway, I wanted to continue talking about my my childhood. Um, as if you saw my live not too long ago, or I talked about the house fires that we had and just all those kinds of things. I don't want you to have the impression that I had a horrible childhood because I didn't. Well, we had some difficulties, but I had a great childhood. I'm still very good friends with my all my brothers and my sisters. I have great relationships with all of them. I love them dearly, and my mother is still alive. Oh, Remy, thank you, Remy. That is awesome. Appreciate it. Oh, here she is. Here's my cat. Here's my mama kitty. Um. Oh, there she is. Um. So she just had 5 kittens, and she's just looking for some love and attention right now, and food. She's probably looking for food. I usually put treats up here, and she's looking for the treats. Anyway, um, but I had a great, and my mother's still alive. That my father died when I was 28 years old. Um, he was 54. This is where I'm kind of having kind of a weird. This is a weird moment in my life because my father died of a heart attack when he was 54. I'm currently 53, and that was rough. I'll be honest with you. Losing your dad at a younger I mean, I was in my 20s. I married, I had kids, I had two boys, and my wife was pregnant with what would be our daughter. At the time they passed away, and that was tough. But I had a great relationship with my father. I still have a great relationship with my mother. I talk to her at least a couple times uh, every week. At least I try. She calls me, I call her. I go and visit her as much as I can. But yeah, I have good relationships with everybody, and my cousins. I grew up a lot with my cousins because my aunt she had um, she had 4 kids, all with different fathers. Um, and I love my aunt, love her dearly. Um, but anyway, so she had four uh, kids: Heidi, David, Jeff, and Angela. And they're my cousins. I grew up with them. Angela was very young. She was the youngest of all. She was very young. And she was when she came into the world. She was the first baby that I got to hold. I mean, when I was younger, my 2 younger brothers and sisters came along. I might have held them when I was really younger, but when they got older, and Angela came home from the hospital. I'll never forget that. She was just so beautiful. I couldn't believe it. That was the first time I really understood just loving somebody for no other reason than just loving them. And Angela was she is the most brilliant, one of the smartest people I think I've ever known in my life is my cousin Angela. And then my cousin Jeff is the same. Jeff was my he was the same age. We were a year apart. This is the other side. He passed away just a few years ago. He's my inspiration for why I started doing Santa Claus because he had been a Santa Claus for many years. He worked for Sears, and one Christmas, the Santa they had had there for years quit. He retired, and they didn't have anybody to be Santa anymore. And he's like, kind of at the last minute, he's like, "I'll do it." So he threw on the Santa suit and he played Santa. And he did that for years. And he eventually became a very professional one. He was hired out all the time for all kinds of things. And he was a great Santa Claus. And he kept telling me I should do Santa, be a Santa, because he was just telling me how awesome it was. And I played with the idea of becoming doing a Santa, but I just never did it. Well, after he passed away, I really, I guess, as a connection to him, I started doing the Santa, and that's when I wrote the Santa stand up stuff. And a lot of people who do Santa stand up, it's usually they go with the mean Santa or the drunk Santa, the bad Santa, you know. And so I decided I wanted to do Santa straight up. I wanted to do a Santa that was funny that kids would enjoy. Um, and boy, that was fun. So I do have there is a stand up stand. Okay, how do you get rid of people off this? Sorry for all there's an idiot up there button. Just ignore that person. I'm sorry. Um, but anyway, so I started doing Santa stand up, and I think the next time I do Santa, he's going to be more geared towards kids, so it's going to be more of a little goofier. But I did a stand up for as Santa Claus. If you look it up, it's on Dry Bar, and also there's another version of it on my YouTube channel. The earlier version, I did one, and it was at a big Christmas fundraising show. I have a friend named Guy Sedell in Utah who would put on these big shows every Christmas, and it was a fundraiser, and they would auction things off and stuff. And I remember the first one he did, he made like I think like $2,000 to help a local family. And every year, this thing just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's where they were raising, you know, 50,000 or so dollars to help families in need all over Utah and stuff. It was great. It was a great thing. It was a fun show to be on. But he let me do it as Santa Claus. So I got up there and did stand up as Santa at that. And that's really where I introduced the thing and recorded it. Went really well, and eventually did it for Dry Bar. But I'll be doing another one. So, but it's fun. Um, but no, I had a great childhood. We built me and my brothers and cousins. We used to build go karts. We're into racing. My family was into race cars. My dad built race cars. He built super modifieds. In fact, let me see. You know what? I might have. Let me see if I have. No, I'll have to get better at this. Anyway, I'll show up. But anyway, my dad used to build race cars, open wheeled, super modifieds, and stock cars. My uncle raced, and eventually we had a race car track that my grandfather took over in Utah. It was called Santana Raceway. And hey, Helen Tudor Douglas, thank you. I worked at the Sears catalog department in 1978. We never had a Sears Santa in the store, only on the catalog pages. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this was a Sears in Utah that he worked at that they had a Santa there, and he became the store Santa. It's pretty cool. But thank you, Helen. Um, what was I talking about? I forgot. Anyway, so my grandpa took over this racetrack, and so it became a family thing. I worked in the snack bar. We helped take over the track, and we cleaned it up. We pulled. I spent every summer was pulling weeds and moving tires and fixing stuff around the track. And but anyway, my first job was I worked in the snack bar the first year we were open. And I kept bugging my grandpa to let me be an announcer. I wanted to be an announcer. And he's like, "You're too young. There's no way." Well, anyway, what had happened was the regular guy, his name was Gator Joe Bowen. He was in the National Guard, and he got stuck one weekend on guard duty. He couldn't leave, so he wasn't going to be able to get there in time to start the races. So my grandpa was like, "Well, what do I do?" Um, so he came down to the snack bar and said, "Rodney, you want to do it?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he goes, "You got to go." He says, "Do you know how to put the equipment together?" And I'm like, "I could figure it out." And so I go up there. I'm a 15-year-old kid. I'm just going crazy. I'm excited. And so anyway, I put all the announcer equipment together and everything, got it running, sounded good. And then I did the time trials. And so, the cars would come out, they do a couple laps, see how fast they could go. And the faster you went, the better position you got in set up in the race. So you want to go fast. And anyway, so I would do the announcement, talk about the driver, and I knew all the drivers, I knew all the cars. I've been grew up in this, so I knew most of them. Um, talk about their sponsors, all that kind of stuff, and I was just joking and having fun up there. And while I was up there, Gator Joe finally showed up. He was late, but he showed up. And him and my grandfather sat there and listened to me do the announcing. And he liked me. He says, I think your grandson's doing a great job. This is considering I have no training at all. I mean, it's just go up there and do your best. And but like I said, I grew up around racing, so I knew what the announcers did, and I had a blast doing it. And so he said, "Yeah, let me take him on as." So I became the assistant. I became the co announcer, but mostly I was just there to help Gator Joe out, and then I would do the time trials, so he didn't have to worry about getting there for that. I would always do the time trials, and then we would do. Sometimes we would do some banter here and there, but there were weekends where he couldn't come at all, and so I would get to do those. So I had a few weekends where it was just fully me as the announcer at 16 years old, and I did that for a couple years, a couple summers. It was the best. Um, Sorry. Um, it was fun. But I did that early, and then I was also in debate in high school and theater. I did a lot of theater in high school, improv, all that kind of stuff. I always wanted to do stand up, but I didn't really get into stand up until, oh, hello, Christine. Newfoundland. John, thank you. Thank you, Jason Webb. That was very, very kind of you. Is it, sorry. Okay, I had to go with the microphone. Is that, can you see me better? Um, I can get my audio off of my camera because it's got a decent audio on there, but I think with the microphone it sounds better. I don't know if you've seen me before without the microphone and now with the microphone. If there's no difference, then I'll just go back without this one. But I'm doing the microphone because I think it sounds better. But anyway, so I became a racetrack announcer, and then I graduated from high school, went to college for a year, went to Snow College in Utah. I went there on a debate scholarship. Um, it was also I wanted to play football. Football's been was the thing I loved doing. I wanted to play football so bad, so I worked out really hard. And in high school, I was just a bench. I was on the bench. I was a backup to this guy named Eli Herring. Eli Herring went on to become a play at BYU, and he won the Outland Trophy. He was like the top lineman for like two. He won it like twice, I think. But anyway, he won this trophy. He's the best lineman in the country. He got drafted by the he got drafted by the Oakland Raiders, but he didn't want to play on Sundays. He's a good Mormon boy. He didn't want to play on Sundays. So he turned it down. He turned down every contract. He wrote every single team and said, don't recruit me. I'm not going to play. I'm not, don't. don't draft me. I'm not going to come and play. And he still got drafted anyway. And but anyway, when I became a high school football coach and a math teacher in Orem, Utah. Big dude. He was really just salt of the earth. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Just wonderful human being. But I was his backup, which meant I never played. There was no reason. I was it. I was second string to Eli Herring, which meant I didn't play. Except for we did this back then. It was if you remember Refrigerator Perry with the Chicago Bears. He was this big, huge lineman, and they would put him in the backfield, and he would knock everybody out of the way, and just I mean, he would create a hole like nobody else, and then Walter Payton would follow him into the end zone. And every once in a while, they would actually give him the ball, and he scored a touchdown. So he was like big deal. So we had our Refrigerator Perry plays where Eli Herring would be in the backfield and he'd go in and he was just huge and massive and he could just go and fall forward and everybody would fall and then the guy would come and just hop into the end zone. And so somebody had to take his position on the line when that happened, and that was usually me. And that was it. That was the only. So I got a bunch of stickers on my helmet because every time we scored a touchdown, I got a sticker on my helmet. So I was the most decorated bench sitter in school history. I think I had my helmet was full of the stickers because if you're on the team if you're on the field when a touchdown got scored, you got a sticker and extra points. So it was ridiculous. It was silly. But anyway, I wanted to play football in college. I worked out really hard. I went and talked to the college football coach, and I said I want to play football. And he says, "No, I've got 7 people in that position that you want to play, and 2 of them are All Americans who are returning, and there's just no, you're not going to play." I'm like, oh, well, okay. And then he invited me to be the manager, which is you take care of the equipment and you just kind of get to go with all the games. I get to hang out with the team. I was part of the team, and I would videotape all of this practices and all the games. That was my job primarily, was to videotape all the games and all the practices, and then help take care of the equipment. And it was pretty cool because I had a scholarship for debate, but debate season was in the spring. We didn't do much in the fall, so it was nice. So I could be part of the football team in the fall, and then of course I would do the debate in the spring. And yeah, I was basically a suit. I was just a really great fan. I just loved. It was fun. I hung out with the football team. I worked out with the football team, and had a good time. Then I also I had a friend who was on the football team who also started. He was in a dance class. He was my roommate. And he was a dude from Las Vegas, and he kept telling me you should come be in this take this dance class. And I'm like, well, I don't need to take dance class. And he said, no, I come and do it. It's fun. So I went with him, and it was me and him and a bunch of beautiful young ladies who were in very, very good physical condition. And they wanted me to uh, pick them up all the time. And because I was, I was working out, I was in good shape. I could move. I had some moves. I could do it. And so anyway, so I was in dance class, and they offered me a dance scholarship. They wanted me to do all kinds of stuff, and it was fun. It was fun. I turned down the scholarship because I didn't need it. Because at that point in time, everything I needed was taken care of. There was nothing else they could give me. Because I was already covered. Plus, I had a job on base, not on base, but on campus. So that was fun. But anyway, so yeah, I did debate and I was in dance, like ballet, modern jazz, all that stuff. The only thing I never did, which I wanted to do, was tap dancing. I never got into tap dancing, but I wanted to. Tiptoe through the tulips with me. But it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun in my first year in college. Then after that first year, I went on a mission for 2 years in New Jersey. My first place I was in Trenton, New Jersey, and then I was in Morristown. Then I was in Rahway. Then I was in Hackettstown. Then I was in Bernardsville. Then I was in Patterson, and then I was back in Hackettstown again. So that was my time in New Jersey. Great time. A lot of friends that I still keep in touch with during that time. It was great, and I came back. I've not done Irish dancing, but I'd love to. I need to. I need to get back into dancing. I just love it. And so anyway, I came back from my mission in New Jersey, went back to Snow College. Well, I like okay, so I come back, and then my sister was dating this guy who was a con artist. There's just no other way to explain this guy. He was a con artist, and he had this job selling phone book advertisements in Indiana. And he wanted me to come with him and sell phone book advertisements in Indiana. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything else. Well, anyway, he helps me, co-signs for me to buy a car. So I bought a car, Geo Prism, and I followed him and my sister, my little sister Christine, and we went to Indiana and we sold advertisements in a yellow page book. Well, as I'm going out and I'm selling these advertisements, I had decent sales, but I realized there were like 5 other people doing these phone books. There's 5 other phone books in the area. I went in and told this guy, hey, you want to put your advertisement in our phone yellow pages? And he pulls out a stack of them. He says, here. He says, I put one in all of them and none of them get me anything. These are a nuisance. People throw them away. So as I got looking into it, I was like, you know what? This is not what I want to do. People think that I'm great at sales, that I would be great at sales because I do love people and I can communicate, but I hate selling things. I'm horrible at selling things. And so anyway, I just said, look, I'm not. But anyway, I had friends still in New Jersey. I had friends who had a construction company, and they did masonry. And I called them and I said, because I'm in Indiana, I'm like, I can either go back to Utah or I can go back to Jersey. And so I decided to go back to Jersey, and I got a job in Jersey. And I go back there. Well, I worked for when I first got there, I worked for first few weeks at a law firm in the mailroom. But the deal that they hired me under was not the deal that I got. And so after 2 weeks, I was just like, I'm not going to stay here. You lied to me. They lied to me about what they hired me, what I would get paid. And so so I stopped that, and I was delivering pizzas for Domino's as well at the same time, just trying to make some money. In fact, I made my car payment with what I made at Domino's. But anyway, so I had friends there who had a construction company, and I was talking to them about my situation, and they were like, "Well, why don't you just come work for us?" And it was great money. It was hard work. It was really hard work, but man, it was great. It was great. The money was great, and I learned so much. But I did concrete. So anyway, I did concrete, all that summer, that whole summer. Then I came back to Utah and went back to school. I got back into dance. I didn't hook back up with the football team. I didn't bother with that, but um, I was going to college, and then I was also working. And it was at this point in time that the Gulf War started, the first one. And I decided that I wasn't going. I didn't want to get. Um, yeah. Oh, hold on. Someone's at the door. Hold on a second. Hang on. Entertain yourselves for a moment. Calm down. Sorry, it was just a package was delivered. They ring the bell, let you know they're here. And of course, the somebody rings the bell. That means that somebody's trying to attack and destroy us, and so the dogs have to ward off the evil. And the dogs did a magnificent job. They do a great job. I love them dearly, but they sure make a lot of noise. Um, so anyway, it was at this point, it was in this moment, I was going to school. I was kind of bored with school. Not sure what to do with myself. And that's when I made the decision to join the United States Marine Corps. And I was fat. I was 240 pounds at the time that I joined. Um, I had uh, just not a lot going on with myself. I mean, I had this college and I was working a couple jobs, but I was just bored and I didn't know what to do with myself. So I was like, that's it. So I decided, oh yeah, the 76 sign right there. Okay. The reason I have this is my grandfather had a Union 76 gas station when I was a kid. He had it. I think he sold it when I was about 8 or 9, but when I was very young, he had a 76 gas station. In fact, our race cars that we had were number 76 to celebrate the race car or the as an advertisement. The sponsor for our race car was my grandpa's gas station in Springville. So it was a Union 76 gas station. So they have the Union 76 thing. Just a little nice thing in my childhood. But anyway, so I joined the Marine Corps, and I joined in November, but I didn't go into boot camp until the middle of January. At least that's what I was scheduled to. And as I was at this point in time, I had no girlfriends or anything. I had no prospects. Wasn't looking. Wasn't interested in. I had a couple girls I had hung out with, but there was nothing. There was just nothing going on. And I had a friend. Her name was Denise, who is an absolute complete loony nut job. She is just absolutely bonkers crazy. Like fun. Like she was just fun to hang out with. And she kept is I would just hang out with her. She was just fun. I met her through another friend. But anyway, but we become friends, and she was always telling me, yeah, I've got two Elvises. I've got the old Elvis, and I've got Aloha from Hawaii Elvis. I'm a big Elvis fan. So anyway, oh, and I also have. Did you see? You can't see it. There it is. That's my Elvis piggy bank. Uh, so anyway, at this point in my life, I'm hanging out with this gal, and she's always telling me about this friend of hers named Teresa. and how smart she was, how funny she was, and just amazing, this amazing friend that she had. I always kept telling me about her. And I was like, okay, whatever. Because I'm getting ready to go off to war. I'm getting ready to join the Marine Corps and leave. I'm not interested in hanging out with anybody. I just hung out with her because she was funny and, enjoyed being with her. But anyway, finally one day she introduces me to Tressa. I'll tell you the whole story another time. But anyway, so I meet Tressa, and again, she was beautiful. The first time I saw Tressa, I thought this girl is just absolutely stunningly beautiful, and I don't have any chance at all with this girl. Plus, I'm thinking I'm going to boot camp. She's not. I mean, there's no reason to even start to try to get into a relationship with anyone at this point in time. And well, okay, I'll tell you the story. So here's the deal. She told me so much about this girl that we set up this joke that we would do that we did. And Tressa worked at a um a Fred Meyer in Orem, Utah. It's no longer Fred Meyer is not in Utah anymore, but it's now, I think it's a Burlington coat factory. But anyway, at the time, she worked at this store, and inside the store, she worked in the shoe department. Now, I'd never met her. She had no idea who I was. I knew who she was, and I'd seen pictures of her, so I knew who I was going. So what we did was I walked in there. My friend Denise, she was hiding, or on the other on the women's clothing. She's hiding, so Tressa can't see her. And I go walking in, and I'm just kind of hanging out. The first Tressa was in the back room or whatever, and so I'm just kind of wandering around the shoe department, right? And then finally she comes out, and I see her, and I go, Tressa, oh wow, this is amazing. I can't believe you're here. I didn't know you worked here. And she's like, yeah. And I said, this is so amazing, man. It has been years since I saw you. This is incredible, man. How have you been? And then I started asking about specific questions about her family, her sisters, her brother. And then finally she looks at me and she goes, I'm sorry, but I have no idea who you are. And it was at that moment, I think, that I think it was in that moment that I fell for her, because she was just so honest. It was amazing. And so I'm like, well, you don't know me, but my friend. And then Denise popped up, and then we all had a good laugh. It was fun. But again, I was leaving in 2 weeks to boot camp. Never thought I'd see this girl ever again. And a few days later, they had called and asked me to go on a double date with them, because Teresa had this other guy that she wanted to make jealous. I don't know. It was a weird. So like, the one girl was going to go with the one guy, and then I was going to be the date for Tressa, and then it was going to. I don't know. It was. All I know is they came pick me up. We went to a movie. That's all I care. I was like, I got to hang out with Tressa. It was cool with me. So we went and saw Robin Williams' Awakenings, and we had a really nice date, but didn't kiss or anything. We just hung out. Like I said, never thought I'd ever see her again. So she goes on. It was a fun date. Didn't hear anything from a few days. I mean, I didn't even bother getting her phone number or anything. I was just like, nah, like I said, this is probably going nowhere. Then out of nowhere, I get this phone call from Teresa, and she's asking me to drive down. I live in Salt Lake at the time, and she's asking me to come and pick her up from work and drive her home, because she didn't have a car. Now it's in the middle of the winter, so I can kind of understand it, but she's within walking distance of the store. She didn't live that far away. It's like a 10-minute walk. But I saw this as a great opportunity. And so I was like, all right, here we go. I'm like, oh, come and give. Oh, yeah, I'll give you a ride home, sweetie. So I drive down there, and uh, was going to give her a ride home, but then my friend shows up. What the deal was is my friend Denise, our friend Denise, wanted to borrow Tressa's car. So she said, well, I'll get Rodney to give you a ride home, then I can take your car. So that was the reason I was coming down to give Tressa a ride, was because Denise was going to use the car. But when I got there, Denise shows up with the car. And so now we're all there. So now it's just this weird. So here we are. Denise was with this other guy who's also named Rodney, by the way. And then me and Teresa, we decided to go for a drive up around, up to Park City from Utah County, Orem, up to Park City and then back around. There's a loop you can make. You go up through Heber, around Deer Creek Reservoir, and then or Deer Creek Reservoir for those of you who don't know from Utah. Anyway, so you go around, and during this trip, we got talking, and we might have started kissing. Might have started kissing. And anyway, we had a great time. We talked, and it was just an amazing night. It was an amazing time. Again, I'm thinking though, this is the weekend before I'm leaving the boot camp on Monday. This is on a Saturday. Um, so anyway, Sunday morning, I get a message from the recruiter that my time going into the Marine Corps has been delayed by a week. So at this point in time, I'd quit my jobs. I had money in the bank. And I was ready to go to boot camp, and it got delayed by a week. So I got nothing to do for a week. And so me and Tressa just hung out a lot, like a lot. And we just had a great time, just hanging out, going out, and being together. And then let me block this person. There we go. I got rid of that person. Okay. Um, so we go and we just hang out throughout the week. And I still didn't think I was ever going to um was ever going to see her again. I thought, it was a fun week. And she said, "Oh, I'll write to you when you go to boot camp." I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be great. Sure. Okay. Love you." And I was hoping she would. I mean, I don't, but at the same time, I'd had my heart broken before. I'm like, okay, we'll see. Because I'd only known her a couple weeks, right? So anyway, I go to boot camp, and in boot camp, she was writing me like all the time, every single day. About I was getting a letter, and it was she was a journal writer. And what she did, she would write in her journal every night. And so instead of just writing her journal, she was sending me her journal entries. Was basically just started writing to me. And so I was learning all about her, and the way she sees the world, and about her family, and just and everything going on in her life. I mean, I knew everything about her from these letters. And just every letter, I just fell more in love with her and more in love with her. And I felt bad because she would write these letters that were like 10, 12 pages long. And I would write a note that said, "Oh, I think you're pretty. Oh, I miss you." Compared to her letters, anyway. Um, so anyway, I go through boot camp, and her and my parents came together to my graduation from boot camp, and they came in her car, amazingly enough. Um, but they came down, and they're at they were there at the graduation. It was amazing. Um, and you got to understand, I had quite the transformation, because, like I said, I joined the Marine Corps. I was 240 pounds, and I came out 180, and I was looking good. I was doing pretty well. Boot camp was good for me. So I come get out of boot camp and on our way to drive back home to Utah because I had 10 days leave before I had to go back to school, go to combat training. Um, um, it was in the car that I basically proposed to her. And we were going to get married soon after. Um, but what ended up happening is that I got my first duty station was Okinawa, Japan, and I did not want to get married because it was my first tour. There was no way they were going to let her come with me. So I would have been married and then gone for a year. And I didn't want to do that to her. I didn't want to do that to me. I was just like, I don't want to get married and then miss the first year of it. Plus, I kind of felt like we needed more time just to make sure. I mean, we'd only known each other a couple weeks, and then I left the boot camp. Now I'm proposing marriage. It was like, okay, maybe we should put the brakes on this a little bit. Put a little. Let's think about it. So I did my year in Japan, and while I was there, I became a colonel's driver. So my primary job was just driving the colonel around. No, never got caught with any pokey bait in my. I really just had a good time. When I was at boot camp, I'll tell you about boot camp later. But anyway, so okay, no, I had a lot of free time, and so I exercised a lot. I was running. I was averaging about 40 miles a week that I was running. I had one time I got up, I laid down, I couldn't go to sleep. And so I just got up and I went and ran 6 miles. And then I came home and finally was able to go back to sleep. And then I had one morning, it was a Saturday, I wasn't going to run at all. I was going to take the weekend off from running. And I had no plans until later that night. I was going to go with some of the guys down to the Cadena that night. So I get up and I got nothing else to do. And I thought, well, I'll go for a jog. Ended up running 19 miles. And I finally stopped because I was bored and just wanted to go do something else. That's how good a shape I was in. Uh, when I came back from Okinawa, I was uh, at that point in time I was about 195 pounds, but it was all muscle. I looked really good when we got married. I'll be honest with you. She she was looking great too. We had a great it was wonderful. But boot camp was quite an experience. I'll be honest with you. One of my biggest challenges in boot camp was to keep from laughing because the drill instructors were hilarious. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Oh, and I joined because of the first Gulf War. But the Gulf War started and ended the first week I was in boot camp. It started and it was over within days. Because they were talking, they're, oh, you're all going to war, and you're all going to war, and so we were all prepared to go to war, and then 3 days later it was over, and they're like, well, here we are. So, but it was fun, and I'll talk about my boot camp more later. But anyway, so I came back from Okinawa on September 9th, 1992. And a few days later, on September 11th, yes, you heard that correctly, my anniversary is on September 11th. But September 11th, 1992, we got married. Oh, hey, Facebook user. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. I got to be honest with you, everybody. This has been an amazing adventure. Because when I set out to make videos, I've been doing stand up comedy since November of '98. And I started doing comedy because of Tressa, my wife. She kept pushing me to do it because I'd been doing comedy, or I'd been doing stand up, not stand up, but I'd been acting and improv, and I was trying to do theater, and I was trying to get into TV, and just nothing was happening. And she just kept saying, "You need to do stand up. You need to do stand up." And I finally got on stage and started doing it, and just loved it. From the moment I first got even an inkling of a kind of a giggle out of the audience, I was like, "This is it, man. This is it." And so I started doing stand up, started doing comedy. I've been doing it for many years, and I love it. Just getting up and just being goofy and ridiculous, and entertaining people. There's just nothing like it. It's just it's addiction. It's an addiction. I don't need drugs because I got comedy. I guess is the way I'm saying. But anyway, uh, so I'm doing comedy. I'm doing stand up. I'm doing, and I'd always wanted to do other stuff. And yeah, okay. Now, Camp Foster, cool. I was at Camp Schwab, in case you're wondering. Anybody out there? Okinawa. I was with Fourth Marines, Camp Schwab, and I was with the radio platoon, and then eventually, but I was in headquarters because I was the colonel's driver. That's what I did in Okinawa, and a great time. I played football, I played rugby, soccer. I had a great time in Okinawa. I really did. I loved it out there. I just thoroughly enjoyed my entire time I was in Okinawa. And the locals were amazing, just beautiful people. The Okinawans are some of the most just beautiful, wonderful people you'll ever meet in your life. But anyway, so the reason I started doing these videos was I had this idea. I had several different characters that I wanted to portray, characters that I'd made up for that. Sometimes I was using my stand up and stuff, and and Leonard McCrunsky was one of these characters. He was based loosely off. I've talked about this before. Basically off my grandfather, who was a drunk, but he was a funny dude. He was really funny, and he used to tease us all the time, and like all the time, like he was just always joking around. So Leonard McCrunsky is partially based off of him, and I remember he would talk and how he would sound to me when I was younger, and when he was drunk, he would just kind of be all over the place, and he slurred, and so Leonard is based off of my grandfather being drunk, and then I decided to turn him into the world's worst motivational speaker, and so I started making videos, motivational videos, as Leonard McCrunsky. And at first, I got some attention from him. I had some good positive feedback from a lot of people. Thought the character was funny. They liked what I was doing, and then I kind of shelved him for a while. And then the thing happened. The vid, the vid showed up, and so all my comedy work got canceled. It was over. And so I'm like, well, here I am. I got nothing to do, and do something. So I started making videos. I started making more ridiculously silly videos, and just started having so much fun with it. And that was it. That was it. I'm not out to do anything other than just create a character and be silly and have fun. And I also studied, this is the other thing, I studied philosophy in college. I have a degree in philosophy, a bachelor's of science degree from University of Utah, not Utah, Utah Valley University, UVU. And so I saw it as an opportunity to kind of blend philosophy and acting and comedy and bring it all together. And that's where this character really just blew up and started having fun with it. And I was just trying to have fun. That was it. That's all I was doing. I never thought anything would more would come of this. I was just going to make some silly videos. I had other characters I was going to do and work on, but this he just blew up, and I and has been so much fun. Again, the idea was I saw, you watch a video from somebody who's a life coach or motivational speaker, and everything is perfect. Everything is just the way it's got to be. Their hair is perfect. They're beautifully tanned. They're chiseled bodies. They big mansions, and they got the fancy, expensive cars, and they're in exotic locations, and everything is just perfect. And they're going to show you how to be perfect. And here's what you do: you got to believe in yourself. And you see these videos all the time. And a lot of them do great because they deliver a positive message. But most of the time, you look at them and go, "Who is it? Whatever." You just ignore it. It's a great message, but you don't want to listen. You don't want to hear it. You don't care. You know what I mean? I've heard this all before, and I will be the first to admit, um, I'm not saying anything new in any of my videos. This is all ancient philosophy. Really, this is I mean, this is Buddhism. This is Zen Buddhism. This is Christ's Sermon on the Mount. Uh, Socrates, Plato. I mean, Marcus Aurelius. This is where all this is coming from. This is I'm not the originator of any of this stuff. This is all old ancient philosophy. You all know it. You've all heard it, but you don't pay attention to it. None of us pay attention because we think, oh, I already know that. Well, if you already knew that, you would have been incorporating your life. If you're not incorporating your life, then you don't really fully understand it. That's my point. And so I started just doing these. So I started doing these videos and just started having fun with it. Just an opportunity to teach philosophy because I always wanted to teach too. I love teaching. And so I thought, man, what better way to just share some philosophy than with this character, Leonard, who just doesn't care about how he looks. And this is part of it, is that I thought this would be perfect because Leonard does not care what he looks like. Doesn't care what he sounds like, doesn't care if he comes across as an idiot. He doesn't care because none of that's important. If anything, um, Leonard is extremely intelligent. Like if you've ever met people who have like really, really high IQs, they're kind of socially awkward. And and but they're only awkward to you. They're not awkward to themselves because they just don't care. And this is kind of where I see in Leonard is that he's just so smart and he sees things so perfectly. He has such a perfect understanding of life that all the things that we think are important, everything that you think is important, isn't. How you look, how do you sound perfect? Are you rich enough? All that stuff. None of that matters. How much crap you have doesn't matter. What matters is who you are as a human being and how you treat others and how you live your life. And that's the message that Leonard is espousing. But having fun doing it in a way that just, you know, um, being able to just share these messages with people in that way, where it's really he's very disarming. That's the fun thing is start watching the video, go, who is this weirdo? And what does he do? What is going on with this guy? And then before you know it, you're laughing, and then you're getting uh, you're getting a great message. And it was really just so much fun. I'll be honest with you, when I first started making the videos, I really had a hard time not laughing. Um, because it's interesting if you've ever done any kind of acting, especially improv, but any kind of acting, when you get into character, you find yourself, when you really start thinking, you really kind of get in that wavelength of that character. um, you start seeing things and saying things that you yourself would not normally say, or at least say it the way they say it, because you're in that character, you're being that character. And when I go in, when Leonard shows up, um, he's just so pure and so innocent yet so brilliant. And this is kind of the joke that's being played on you, the listener. You as you're watching, people think that the joke is Leonard's the joke. No, the joke is you. The joke is making fun of your perceptions, because here you think, oh, this guy's got a problem. And then when you listen, you realize this guy doesn't have a problem. You have the problem. You're the one that need to hear this. You're not doing him any favors. He's doing you one. That's the trick. That's the joke, my friends. The joke is being played on you by Leonard, by showing to you, because we always reflect others. We think our perceptions of other people are based on our perceptions. They're our perceptions. So you project those things onto other people. You do it all the time. And so here comes Leonard, and you start projecting onto him, and then he just kind of throws it right back in your face in a fun and enjoyable way. And that, my friend, that is what Leonard's all about. Just so you know. Just so you know. Only for you guys. I hardly. But that's the brilliant thing. That's what this is about, is getting people to just. And I think Leonard really. Oh yeah, totally relate. I know if I'm doing it myself. Yeah, go for this. That's funny. Thank you, Shay J. Um, but life is, we try to make life more serious than it is. I mean, think about it. Um, um, there's one or two options. Either we're here for a purpose, that we were created by someone or something to be here for a purpose, or we were not. Which is either a happy accident or a brilliantly designed plan. Either way, when it comes down to it, the brilliantly designed plan is that we were put into a system where we could literally create whatever we want. This is an opportunity for us to be creators, to learn what it means to have true and complete total freedom to just do whatever we want. Well, who do you become? What do you become when you're that way? An example is like people who win the lottery and they get all this money. What do they do with it? It's very telling of the personality. Most of them become broke within a year. They waste it all. They take this brilliant opportunity and they just blow it. Well, life is a lottery. Just being here, just having this life is an amazing gift. So, what are you doing with it? Are you doing something amazing? Are you living your life and having a good time? Are you making life better for others? What are you doing? You got a gift, and like I said, it's a gift regardless whether it's from what I believe, God, or if you believe it's just a happy accident where we're all just well, there's just a bunch of stuff floating around. All of a sudden, it just sort of got together and said, "Hey, let's hang out." No, hey, we should be planet, blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, here we are. Regardless of where you started, where you think the origin is, the fact that we have this life at all is amazing. This life is freaking amazing. It's just brilliant. This life is just amazing. And the more you realize it, when you open your eyes and go, "This, holy cow! I can do all kinds of stuff. I can do amazing things with my life. What am I doing? I'm sitting around getting mopey and mad and just depressed and all this nonsense. Why? It's amazing. I mean, think how just incredible all of this is. This is just amazing. Even with all the problems going on, with all the challenges and everything. Well, if everything was perfect, we'd be bored out of our freaking minds. We're living in a pretty amazing time because there's all this crazy stuff going on. Holy cow. I mean, if you want to go back in history, think about this. If you could go back in time to any event in history, are you going to go when it's boring, nothing's going on? No, you're going to go to the hot button events. People want to go see cool stuff when things are happening. Well, guess what? We're right in the freaking middle of a lot of freaking crap that's pretty cool going on. We're right here. This is going to be a point in time people are going to come back and check out. It's right now, right here, right where we're at. And when you see it for that, it's like, wow, I got a front row seat in history. I get to be a part of it. I get to be a part of the solution. And when you start seeing that, holy freaking crap, you start seeing life for what it truly is. This is amazing. It's amazing. And I hope you see that. I hope if there's anything that you can learn from any of this, my friends, anything that you can get from any of my videos, any of the messages, it's that life is amazing. It is a beautiful, 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 wonderful gift in all of its horrifying glory and all of its challenges. Now, everything's not perfect and everything isn't amazing, but it is. When you just sit back and go, wow, this is amazing. I could do all kinds of stuff. Quit feeling sorry for yourself. Stop your self doubt. This is the fun thing about this character is being able to tell people, hey, your life sucks and it's okay. Sure, it sucks. Yeah, death is part of this deal. People you love leave your life, they die. Uh, some people in your life that you think you can love and trust, you can't. You can have you have all these things. And that's why I wrote that. I wrote that poem. And I love sharing it every once in a while. Is that I hope you have the fortune of experiencing misfortune, because that's when you see what life is. When you lose everything, you learn that like I say before, when you find out all your stuff's flammable and can be gone, completely gone and devoured in seconds, you learn not to be too worried about it. It's like, it's just stuff. You can get more stuff. You always get more stuff. Don't worry about your stuff. If your whole happiness is wrapped up in stuff and having more stuff, then uh, you're in for a lot of disappointment in your life. That's why I love the concept in Buddhism is that wanting and when you want things and then you don't have those things, you're depressed because you don't have those things. And then you think if you have that thing that it's going to solve all your problems. Well, then you get the thing and then you're like, oh yeah, I have the thing. And then you realize that it wasn't that big of a deal. It breaks, gets stolen, all that stuff. And then you're depressed and you're mad because now you don't have the thing again, or it's not what it was. It didn't solve all your problems. For some reason, the weight loss belt that you put on your stomach and you sit and watch TV and it does 40 million sit-ups for you didn't change your life. Then you're depressed. You know what I'm saying? So stuff just what I'm saying is stuff brings you more problems usually. If you uh that's the whole thing, is it's just that wanting for stuff, wanting for money. And I always say, they say the money is the root of evil. That is completely wrong. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. When you put money and things and possessions above other people, that's when you start bring a lot of hate in your life. That's when you find yourself miserable. But when you stop wanting, and it's a kind of a weird balance, because you want to stop wanting things, and you might be sitting there going, well, how do you get anything done? How do you do anything then? It's very simple. When you find gratitude in your heart, when you find true acceptance and love for what you have around you and who you are and what your experience is, when you just appreciate it, and you just sit back and go, wow, I really am blessed. I have friends, or maybe you don't have any friends. It's like, hey, I have opportunity to go make some new friends. Um, when you stop wanting things and you just allow life to happen and you just go and do things that you enjoy and you and and amazing things start happening because when you start enjoying yourself, guess what you attract? You attract more joy. You attract other people who are drawn to your joy. They're drawn to you. I mean, if you're sitting around your house and you're depressed all the time, you go, "Why doesn't anybody like me?" You're not even where anybody can see you. You're not doing anything. You're not going out. Go out. Go out. Go go to a race car track and hang out at the races. Go find somebody who needs help on their race car. Go help them. Just say, "Hey, I don't know anything about race cars, but I want to help you with your race car." Or just become a fan and go and support them. Just say, "I don't know you, but I love the color of your car, so I'm going to support you." Just go find something to do. Go bowling. You ever been bowling? Go bowling. There's a lot of cool people at bowling alleys. Go learn a musical instrument. Just get out of yourself. Get away from what you're doing now and go find something else to do. And it will open up a whole new world to you by just opening yourself up to opportunities. And then you'll find yourself. But if you're always focused on just if you think that having a car or having the fastest car or having the most expensive car, all this stuff, the stuff doesn't matter. The stuff doesn't matter. You can get by with. I don't have any new cars. I think my newest vehicle is a 2017, and it's my son's. It's actually my son's. Well, I bought it to help my son with his business. I said the car I drive is a 2005 Honda Pilot, and it currently it has issues. I also have a Jeep that's always breaking down, but I don't care. I'll just fix it when I get the money. Cheese is a great answer. Cheese is a great answer. Yeah, one of the one of the things I dislike is when people talk about the American dream, and it's been sold to us as having lots of money, being successful, and cars, and that's nonsense. The American dream is not that. The American dream is not having a bunch of crap, having a bunch of stuff. The true American dream is being free to live your life the way you want to have you decide what your life is and you get to live it. If you want to live off grid out in the woods where no one's bothering you, sweet, go do it. Whatever it is that you want to pursue in your life, that my friend, that's what the American dream is. That's what should be the dream of everyone, is to just live your life and be happy, not have to trying to fit into everybody else's plans, trying to impress everybody. Why spend all your time trying to impress people who aren't even paying attention to you? It don't even matter. It doesn't matter. What do you care? Oh, that's yeah, I love what you're saying there. Joni Ellis, thank you. That's amazing. But yeah, just get outside yourself. You really people who get depressed and they say, "Oh, they want to take themselves out." Well, my friends, I I like to point out you're not mad at life. You don't hate your life. You hate the life you're living. So just change the life you're living. If you want to kill off the life that you're living, don't take yourself out doing it. Um, just change the life you're living. Go change. Get a new job. There's there's no reason to have loyalty for an organization that you're spending time with if they're not helping you. If you don't feel like you're growing, move on. Go find another job. I've seen people who've gotten jobs where they've paid less money and been just a lot happier. And when you're happy and you're in good spirits and you have a good way of seeing the world, you open yourself up to new possibilities. So you might make less money now, but eventually you'll make more money because you'll find something even better because you're relaxed, comfortable, and you're living your life and you're having fun. Just live your life and have fun, my friends. Yeah, and if you feel like you're stuck, just get out. If you're in a rut, get out of the rut. Go find a way to get out of the rut. Go find something to do. You know, I have a nephew. I'll tell you about this. My nephew, he lives in Utah, and he loves flags. Like loves flags, and he has one of the largest flag collections in the country. Like private people hire him to bring his flag collection to show off, and then he does stories. He does seminars. He talks about the stories behind the flags. There's a lot of amazing stories behind some of these flags. But anyway, he came to me and he was like, what do I do? With a career because he wanted to do something with flags. So I said, well, why don't you just make yourself the flag guy? You should make videos about flags. Why don't you just start telling people the stories about flags? I said, they may not be interested in the flag, but they'd be interested in the story about the flag. They'd be interested in your passion for flags. And so he started doing that. And now he's doing amazing stuff. He's been on television several times when they have questions about flags coming up. Um, and it's just, he just took his passion and he started sharing it with the world. And never before in history have you been able to just take your passion and do something with it. Never. You have no idea how many people are out there looking for something that you're doing, my friends. You just really have no idea. So find your passion and start sharing it with the world. That's what I did. My passion is philosophy and comedy. I took them both and put them together, and here we are. That's what I did. That's what I'm doing, and I'm having fun doing it. So get out there and just live. If you don't know what to do, go find something you would never think about doing and go do it. I said, go join a bowling league. Go join a softball team. You want to do art? Start creating it. Yeah, Sheldon Cooper became. He did the flag. He became a flag guy. But my nephew is the real thing. He's the real flag guy. This guy is called Professor Flag. If you want to look him up, Professor Flag. He's on YouTube, Facebook. But yeah, he just into flags, man. Let's go find your passion. If you haven't got a passion, go help somebody else's with their passion. Oh, Lou Daniel. I'm a tattoo artist and I own my own shop. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. So there's so many things that you can do. Just art. Go out and create. You don't have to be good at it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it poorly. Do it. Go out and be really bad at it. Say, you know what? I'm going to become the world's worst glass blower. And then you go out and start. It's like, I don't know how to blow glass. Well, go find somebody who blows glass and say, hey, I want to know how to blow glass. And they'll say, well, I could use some help. Come on over. And start blowing glass. You're horrible at it. And after a while, you start figuring it out. And then pretty soon you start making incredible things blowing glass. So when I go blow glass, blow glass. You want to take up a new musical instrument? Find somebody who plays a new musical instrument. Say, hey, I want to learn how to play the accordion. And they'll go, why do you want to learn to play the accordion? So I don't know. Just want to learn to play the accordion. And they're like, oh, okay. Hey, DC Experiment, thank you. Thank you. Yes, get a hold of me. But man, just get outside yourself. Quit feeling sorry for yourself. That's not the end of the world. Sure, there's kinds of crazy stuff going on. There's a lot of weirdness, but don't feel horrible. Hey, Catherine. Yeah, see, she's a glass blower. blown glass dealer. There you go. See, there's whatever it is you want to create. There's people out there who want to buy it. That's what I'm saying. Um, but art, I there's a gal here who does henna. Here, I need to hook up. She's been invited me to her things, and I've seen her thing. I've driven by her thing, but she wasn't there here in town. But she does those henna tattoos. Those are cool. That's cool. There's just go out and live your life. You feel depressed, say, what do I want to do with myself? What do I want to do? What do I want to be? And then find somebody who does it and just say, hey, you don't know me, but I want to do what you do. And they're going to go, that's cool. Some of them might turn you down, but you know what? Someone's going to go, hey, that's one thing I love about stand-up comedy is when you get into comedy, other comics actually like helping other comics. This is true. This happens. You can find if you start doing stand-up comedy and you start showing a desire for it, other people will help you improve. They'll help you and will find a way. Yes, Adam. Yes, you can write a book. That's what I'm saying. You want to write a book? Write a book. You want to do stand-up comedy? Come up with a couple jokes. Go to an open mic and start doing stand-up comedy. Just do it. You just do it. You do it poorly. Just tell yourself, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to have fun doing it. And you just do it and enjoy it. You got some weird art ideas you want to build. You want to do some weird stuff. Do it. Hey, Lisa. She does stand up. Thank you, Lisa. That's cool. So have fun. Have fun. Anyway, you guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you, everybody, first of all, who's dropped in. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all of your wonderful messages. Please know you can go right there. There's I'm gonna get it's over here. It's over here. You go there if you want to send me some messages. If you want to have me do messages for you. If you want to do, hey, you, if you want to, you can make me your passion. That'd be fun. I don't know what that means, but whatever. But no, get out there, man. Get out there and have a life. I hope you have a beautiful day. You're beautiful people. It's a beautiful, gorgeous day. Get out there and do something fun. Have some, just enjoy yourself. Go do something you would not normally ever do, and go do it. Go try it. You don't think you're an outside person? Just go for a walk. Go for a nice little nature walk. There are people. There are people around you. There are groups that just go on hikes. You can go find them. Look up hikes in your area and just go for a nice little hike. Just like a little short hike. Get out, go out, move, get away from your phone, get away from your TV and your computers. Go out in nature. Go out and live your life. You'll be happier. You'll just be happier. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. I got stuff to do. I got to go fix my truck. I got to put a fuel pump in a 2006 Nissan Titan and install an air conditioning system today. I got stuff to do, and I'm just this is a waste of time, but I bought these things. These are fun to play with. Get toys. You know what? If you're an older person, get some toys to play with. I got these things. I don't know what these things are. I don't know what they're called. You see that? Go find some toys to play with, people. That's what I'm saying. Start enjoying your life. That's what I'm saying. Have some fun. Do something silly today. Go be weird. Go dance. Videotape it. Share it with the world. Or just dance for yourself. Who cares? Have fun. Have a beautiful day, people. I love you. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for everything you do. Um, just love you dearly. Get out there and live your life. Oh, I do have puppets. I got puppets. I'm gonna work on the hello. Oh, there goes my dogs. Hey, Doug. Anyway, okay, it's time to go. It's time to go. I gotta go do things. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for being here. Love you. Love your support. Love you. Love all that you do. Thank you for all the kindness. Thank you for going to my site. Thank you for buying stuff from me. The t-shirts. You find me on Memo and Cameo if you want me to do birthday greetings. I got some of those to go do right now. You guys are beautiful. You're lovely. I love all of you. But I gotta go do stuff. Have a super freaking awesome everything, everybody.